Initially this video was called Choose Wisely Hero Shooters in 2026, but now it's more like you dodged a bullet in 2026. All these games fail not because of you, not because of a saturated market, not because of rising server costs, and not because of Overwatch, Apex Legends, Marvel Rivals. Insert any live service game here that people presumably don't want to leave. No, they fail because people don't want to deal with bullshit. Let's start with Highguard. I had only one reason to try it, and I didn't. Next game. Black Stigma had more than one reason to try it. The fact that you didn't need to watch a tutorial on how to launch the damn thing also helped. Really Highguard standards right here. Still, people hated it. Nobody talked about outdated UI, questionable character design choices, uninviting trashy lobby. No. People hated the gameplay. Black Stigma had an unusual approach. Arsenal available to the player was a variety of pistols. Every pistol felt different, had different stats and used strategies. They also had different weight, so some of them could be equipped only by bulky guys. Level ups were unlocking permanent skills and new attachments that would help handle your weapon better. It sounds like a huge disadvantage for new players, but don't worry, there were no new players. It wasn't a dramatic difference anyway. Pistols were deadly, but not enough to stop an enemy who wants to molest you. Yeah, and this is why everybody left. Nobody wants a sparring match in a crowd of angry killers. Who attacks first wins. Don't allow your enemy to close distance. If you did fight, FPS crowd just couldn't accept Mortal Kombat in an active shootout. And there was no other crowd, except me. I loved it. Throwing people on the ground, finishing them with a gun while they are hopelessly trying to get up, disoriented and humiliated. When it happens to you, you pray for teammates to interrupt and kill the bastard. It was fresh and unbelievably fun. I was a day one player, and I was watching how the game bleeds online. Bots in the lobbies were even on day one, which was also a big turn-off for many. But a month later I was just hungrily hunting occasional real players in lobbies, full of bots. I decided I would wait until my favorite character grew some hair. I was forced to see this ugly haircut for far too long. Obviously it was intentional, which begs the question how freaking confident these devs were. Yeah, I'm totally maining the trash can with a shaved head for around 20 hours to get a cute bob. What a hook. Sometimes I truly envy people who play as blokes. I spent 59 hours in Black Stigma, and I couldn't bring myself to play as a guy even once. Release version was peak as a concept. It was dragged down by problems with performance and a few bugs, but overwhelmed by poor reception, devs started to make changes that made no sense to me. With friendly gas clouds losing see-through effect and someone constantly blinding you with flash grenades, the game became insufferable. There were just too many characters who can obstruct your vision. I came back when Black Stigma announced it would temporarily suspend service. What I found interesting is I was looking at Steam DB numbers from time to time to see how the game was doing. And for the last 6 months the numbers were pretty stable, around 800 players on average constantly. It saw an unusual decline in the last month, and the day the announcement was made, the game permanently lost 500 players. 3 more days, and online became stable again, but only with a dozen players. Black Stigma had 2 more weeks before going offline. You could get almost everything you ever wanted. Any skin for easily obtainable tickets at the goodbye event. So where was everyone? Am I the weird one? Sad ending. Goodbye, Black Stigma. I don't believe you will ever come back, but you was the cool one. In situations like this I can't help but think maybe the Wild Assault model is not that bad. Put a price on your game, no free access, instant funding. Not only that, people who buy it will be incentivized to stay. Now you have a paying player base, so you can push battle passes and separately purchasable skins. Some players will find this model reassuring. you can indeed have more faith in the longevity of this sort of game. I would even say it's perfect if you want to play only with bots. As soon as I saw that they put a price tag on this, I knew it would not have sufficient online. So why bother? First, I can buy a game to not spend a penny anymore on it, and I can buy a battle pass in a free game, but I'm not doing both. Second, nobody heard about this game. It wasn't trending, it wasn't highly anticipated, and after being gated by the price tag, you can't expect it to have word of mouth. Third, it was made by an unknown studio, so no following, no legacy, no reputation, no trust. Fourth, it's targeted toward closeted furries. It's a small target. It could be the coolest, most fun game to play, but nobody will know. And those who know will never admit they're playing it. I'm glad it's alive for people who like it, but nobody else will ever try it. Someone I know loves this game, so I was basically dragged into playing it. Even though it was initially my idea, I regret it. Don't be fooled by the footage. I'm properly bad at this game, and I don't know why. I had never been bad at any shooter before. FragPunk, I can't catch a rhythm and constantly feel rigid. I spent 150 hours trying to find a comfortable mouse sensitivity and failed. But, you can be bad and have a good time. Don't stress too much. It's not like everybody is watching you and counting on you. Well, about that. FragPunk has this very peculiar mechanic. If after 6 rounds the team's scores are tied, the game starts a duel. Players choose the order and sit back to watch the 1v1. It doesn't matter how good of a player you are, nobody expects you to kill more than one enemy. But you need to kill at least one to secure your team a victory. It's nerve-wracking. You might expect a casual match to relax and let off some steam, but instead you get hit with a nightmare-like scenario. This game was made for meticulous tryhards, and it gradually evolves even more into sweat. Casuals will never touch it, and I don't think FragPunk players want them to. They also don't want to play with bots, which is understandable, but with the chosen direction, it will be hard to gain more players. On the bright side, nobody usually picks my favorite characters. They are already useless, and developers balance them to be even more useless every season. About my favorite characters, if you play hero shooters because you like hero shooting, I play them because only one part of my body can't lie. We are not the same. I was talking about my eyes. The problem is, all these heroes, they are cringe. Wildstyle is a true artist.
I wish Papa got my art.
Counterfeit is a thief raised on the streets.
When life is hard, you get tough.
Nitro and Pathogen, they are fine. But truly, this game loves giving you second-hand embarrassment.
I love the taste of it coming fine in my mouth.
Dude, you are playing for the other team.
Chaos.
The fun part about FragPunk is the card mechanic. I would never grow tired of this game because of how cards change the gameplay in both meaningful and meaningless ways. It's almost like FragPunk doesn't take itself too seriously, yet at the same time glances sideways and flirts with the esports stage, making it kinda confusing. Still, the game is hot. On an unrelated note, I need more clown designs and fewer clown developers. So let's talk about Farlight 84. I was there day one on the relaunch. I know it doesn't count. Listen, it's hard for me to talk about something that I didn't see with my own eyes. Legends say that once upon a time Farlight 84 was an outstanding game with unique gameplay that brought an unforgettable experience to thousands of people. And I believe it's true. People who experienced it firsthand remember it fondly, and there were a lot of people who wanted to play it. Every other game here would be jealous of such attention. It's also a fact that players were leaving the game. I wasn't there to see why. The rest is history. Someone at the company had an enormous freak out, which resulted in the removal of a core feature of the game, the jetpacks. Jetpacks were a cool movement and mobility gimmick that made the game's traversal and combat more dynamic and chaotic. Players begged developers to bring it back, but they couldn't stop the game's ugly transformation. Farlight didn't want to stand out. It wanted to be an amalgamation of every other popular game, scared to be left out. Farlight altered its core identity because the creative vision couldn't be trusted. Cold market predictions became a driving force, which led to the bland, easily dismissible corpse of a product it is now. Roughly 2 years after release, I launched Farlight 84 for the first time. And what did I find? A dead game with 2 maps that looked like they were from different eras. The old one had this retrofuturistic and scrappy post-apocalyptic vibe, with a varied locations and vast open spaces between them to roam in bizarre vehicles. The newer one was a generic futuristic battle area, something. It was a month before the relaunch, and the only footage I have is me looking at abysmal chances in the local nasty gacha. So yeah, relaunch. Have you heard of it? Yes, from me right now. They didn't advertise it globally whatsoever. I don't even know why they tried to revive the game. They were actively trying to kill. They doubled down on any decision the active community hated, lost 96% of their initial player base, and shifted priorities, which resulted in the better part of a year of total neglect. Well, now they are doing better, right? They entirely removed the oldest map. They removed crossplay. They removed some languages. Wow, it keeps going. They removed the duo option, which forced people to join trios, while solo was never an option. They removed. They banned Linux players just because. Don't worry though, they also added something new. New battle pass, some cosmetic changes, 1 new map. So we are back to square one. You still want to play it sometimes. How do you feel about not earning XP from arcade modes and being pressured to play every week because they decided to time-gate additional battle pass XP? Still not insulted? Do you remember fun? Do you remember the sky filled with different pods? Pods that people were buying, actually. Because in the good old days, they looked even better. You know, back when Farlight had soul. Scrap this. Now take the Fortnite space bus. Are you still here? Why? For shitty low-effort battle passes, while some characters are stuck in a makeover stage from the vision shift. You are a tough one. How about very petty nerfs? This ability was dealing microscopic but slightly satisfying damage, but fun is not allowed, no. Take a new pistol with auto-aim instead, because you don't need to play. It's not even a game. Bots can't kill you. And everybody in this lobby is a bot. Finally, nobody left. Farlight 84 is one of the biggest embarrassments in gaming history. Forget Concord. Nobody wanted to play that game in the first place. Farlight was a game people wanted to play despite Farlight trying its best to ruin everyone's fun. But the truth is, the only thing they ruined is their own reputation. People will just have fun somewhere else. AFK Journey, AFK Arena. I'm not touching anything that has the name of Lilith Games or their publishing brand Farlight Games on it with a 10-foot pole. This game hasn't even come out yet, it's already failed.
I'm ready for action.
Fate Trigger is the perfect successor of Farlight 84. Failcessor. Successor. It also starts with F and ends with Accu. Since the first closed alpha test, people have been complaining about time to kill being too fast. Developers received all the feedback, read it very carefully, because this is what advertisements, playtests, are meant for. Then they read the same thing after the closed beta test, and after the open next fest test. Is it me, or are they just big fans of reading? So no, it doesn't matter what you think. Target audience. Armor will mean nothing, and you will be shredded in seconds. And if you don't like it, just in case they are making a second game. Yep, they are juggling 2 games at once. Maybe that is why Fate Trigger has not seen drastic changes between tests and keeps getting pushed back. Players were pretty much ready to accept Fate Trigger the way it is. A sexy retrofuturistic lobby simulator with a vast open map for you to do nothing until Bullet Coon sends you an invitation back home. So when does it come out? Who knows? Communication from the developers is terrible.
Sorry. Did I zone out again?
They don't want to say anything, which means there is no clear plan.
Every insignificant thought.
And I can't think of a bigger red flag. I feel like this game had the most hype surrounding it, and now it's burning all goodwill. The end.